pan-roasted chicken.
One of the biggest challenges about cooking white meat chicken is that it easily dries out and loses its flavor. This is because it doesn't have a whole lot of fat that protects it while it cooks. But I'm going to show you a recipe that uses a couple of tricks that's going to produce tender, juicy, succulent, amazing chicken, and quickly produces its own sauce to go along with it. I think you're really going to like it. Let's check it out. We're going to start off by using some bone-in split chicken breasts. Now this cut can be difficult to use because the thickness is inconsistent, especially as it gets closer to the rib end. Also, you can see that one of the sides is considerably larger than the other, so they will not cook at the same rate. This is not going to be a problem using the recipe that I'm about to show you. The first thing that we're going to do is create a brine. This is a saltwater solution that will tenderize the meat and allow it to maintain its juiciness. To start off, you'll need a large bowl that's big enough to contain all of your chicken, and you're also going to need some salt. It can be either kosher salt or table salt. For the amount of chicken that I have, I'm using a 1/2 cup measure, and I'm going to fill it about 3/4 of the way full using the kosher salt. If you choose to use the table salt, you'll only need half the amount, since the grains are smaller and closer together. Dump this into your bowl, and then I'm going to add a cup of hot tap water. Stir to combine. The hot water will allow the salt to dissolve more quickly, and then I'm going to fill it up the rest of the way with cold water from the tap. You only need about as much as it will take to fully cover the chicken. Add the chicken pieces to the brine and make sure that it's fully covered. Then allow it to soak for 30 to 60 minutes. A brine is not the same thing as a marinade, so a short soaking time is all that it needs to tenderize and flavor the chicken. Set your oven to 450 degrees. Remove the chicken from the brine and dry it completely. Preheat an oven-safe skillet over medium-high heat. Season your chicken on both sides. For this recipe, I'm keeping it simple with just salt and pepper. Add about 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil to the pan, and then place your chicken in skin side down. Make sure the chicken has enough room in the pan. You don't have to use your hands like I do. After about 5 or 6 minutes, the skin will be browned, and you can flip the chicken over to the other side. Continue to cook another 5 to 6 minutes to brown the underside. The chicken will let you know that it's not ready if it won't easily release from the pan. Once both sides are browned, turn it again so it's skin side down, and then you can switch off the heat. Place the pan into the oven and roast for 15 to 18 minutes, depending on the size of your chickens. While this finishes up in the oven, let's get our ingredients ready to make the quick pan sauce. For this sauce, you'll need a couple cloves of garlic, and you can slice it up any way you like. Next, you will need a few sprigs of fresh herbs. Today I have Italian flat leaf parsley and dill. But whatever you have will do, just make it your own. Remove the stems and finely chop your herbs. Next, we're going to need something acidic to cut through the richness of the meat. We have a few options here, including fresh citrus such as lemons, an assortment of vinegars, various types will do, even alcoholic items like wine, sherry, or hard liquor. Any of these would be a good option, but honestly, I would save the expensive stuff for another use. Today I'm going to use the fresh lemons. Squeeze the lemon juice into a bowl, making sure to strain out the seeds. At the 15-minute mark, I'm going to check to see how my chicken is doing. I'm going to stick a knife into the thickest part of the smaller chicken piece and see if the juices run clear. It's nearly done, but I think another minute and a half in the oven will finish it off. Hey, since we've got a minute, why don't you go ahead and give me a like? Checking again, the thickest part of the smaller chicken, the juices seem to be running clear this time. So I'm going to transfer that one onto a dish to rest, covering it loosely with foil so it doesn't cool down too much. Since my second chicken was considerably larger, I think another 3 minutes in the oven will do. When I see that its juices are running clear, I transfer it to the plate as well and cover it with foil. To make our quick sauce, we're going to use all the delicious juices and browned up bits that were left behind in the pan. But first, I'm going to use an old tin to discard any excessive fat that was left behind. Set the pan over low heat. Add 1 to 2 tablespoons of butter and move it around in the pan, scraping up the bottom to loosen all of those browned up bits and make sure you get all the flavor that was left behind. Then add in your chopped garlic and stir it through for about 1 minute. After that, we add our lemon juice to stop the garlic from browning, followed by the chopped fresh herbs. Give everything a stir and allow it to cook for another 30 to 60 seconds. And then your sauce is finished. Return the chicken back to the pan along with any juices that have come out of it, and then turn the chicken around to get coated in that delicious sauce. Now it's time to plate it up. Place one of your chickens onto a serving plate and spoon your pan sauce over the top. It doesn't get much easier than this. Soaking in the brine has caused the chicken to become soft and tender while also holding on to most of its juices, retaining that moistness and amazing flavor. And no flavor went to waste because we are able to utilize what was left behind in the pan to make this incredible and fast sauce. Now that you know how to make tender, juicy white meat chicken at home, go ahead and give it a try. And while you're at it, try out some of my other recipes for other great ideas.